Hey artists, welcome back to Art with Sienna and Olivia. Today I'm going to show you how to draw a super cute polar bear floating on a piece of ice in the Arctic. In this tutorial, I'll show you how to use the Gaussian blur to create soft sky gradients, the duplicate tool to quickly repeat shapes and build a clean setup, and the bloom tool to make the Arctic sun glow just right. Also, if you'd like to support the channel, check out our t-shirt shop. There's a link in the description below. And don't forget to sign up for our free weekly newsletter. You'll get extra Procreate tips, behind-the-scenes updates, and access to exclusive videos that you won't find anywhere else. The link's down below. Your support means the world to us, so thank you. Alright then, let's get started. Open up the Procreate app, grab your Apple Pencil, and let's jump in. The first thing we're going to be doing is making a new canvas by tapping on this plus right here. And then you can just say screen size and making sure your iPad is in the vertical position because that's like the side we're going to be using today. The first thing we're going to start with is choosing our brush. So let's go to the painting category right here. And we're going to use the first brush, which is the round brush. And then we're going to do the size. So opacity is up at 100%. And for the size, we're going to do pretty big. Let's go for 40%, 40 or 41%. And then I have a color palette right here, which you can find in the link down below. So I'm going to be using this first color right here. So first color in the first row. And we can zoom out on our canvas a bit. And we're just going to go over the top over here by just drawing like this. Then we're going to grab the second color in the first row. And then put it over here. Grab the third color. So you can see our sky is getting dark to light. And this is perfect for our sky. So the sky gradient we have so far. So now we have our sky. We have 4 colors right here, but I want to blur this. So the best way to do this is by going to this magic wand right here. And we're in the adjustments menu. We have all these options, and we're gonna click Gaussian blur. And you're gonna put your Apple Pencil onto the iPad, and you're gonna slide to the right. Don't lift your pencil, just keep sliding until we get a really nice blur. Let's go for 40%. Perfect, and we can just tap the magic wand to get out of it. Perfect, so now we have our sky. Now I want to work on our ocean. So we're just going to make the flat color so far. So this is this color right here. First color in the second row. We're going to make our brush a bit smaller. We're going to go for 4%. And then let's make a line right here. We're going to tap on line above here. This is for the quick shape and making sure we can just move this. And I want our ocean to be about halfway. So let's go about right here. Maybe a bit, oops. Actually, I think this is good. And if you accidentally tap out of that edit, you can go to this arrow right here and we can just move it down just a bit. I think right about here is good. And now I want to work on our background. So we're going to go to our sky layer and make a layer above this, which is also below the ocean. So it's like right in the middle. And we're going to work on our mountains. So let's grab the second color in the second row, make our brush a bit smaller, 2%. We can zoom in a bit. I'm going to make the mountains very simple, have like a round top like this, and then make sure when you end, you connect it over here. So the shape is already it's closed in and no color will spill out. Perfect, so now we have this mountain. Now I want to add another mountain, so we're going to duplicate this by sliding to the left on this layer and saying duplicate. And then we're going to flip horizontal by going to this arrow right here, and we're going to move it over here, go to the freeform tool, and we're going to push it in just a bit and shorten it, just so the side is a bit different. We can go to this other mountain layer, and then we can just move this in like that, just to make them look different. And also you want to make sure we have some space over here so it doesn't look like too cramped. So we can just merge those two together, and then we're going to make a layer above that. And then we're going to tap on this layer and turn on clipping mask. And then we're going to go back to our color palette and grab this third color in the second row. And now we're going to add some snow on our mountain. So like this, very simple snow, like that. So we're just covering the top of our mountain in just this white color, perfect. And then we're going to merge that clipping mask layer, which is our snow layer, with our mountains. And then we're going to make another layer above this, turn on clipping mask, and then we're going to go to this little N right here. And this is the blending mode. So now we have all these options here. It basically goes on forever. And what we're going to do is we're going to go all the way to the top to multiply, which is perfect for adding shadows. So it makes whatever color we select, it makes it darker. So for example, we're going to tap and hold with our finger and grab this white, which is our snow. We're going to make our brush a bit bigger. And we're going to come on the left side of this mountain and just make this we're going to follow this mountain shape and just make this darker side of the mountain. Just like that. Same thing on here, but on the right side, because our sun is going to be over here, so it's at different angles. So perfect, just like that. And we're just going to keep it like this and not blur it. And then we can just merge that together. Perfect. Now let's make a layer above these mountains that's still below the ocean. I'm going to use this color right here. This is the 4th color in the second row. And we're just going to make this kind of this wobbly shape that comes in front of our mountain like this. Same thing over here. We can make this one a bit shorter. And this is just like a little like bush or forest in the background. We're just going to leave it like that just to add a bit more touch so the background doesn't look so bare. And we can merge that together with our mountains. Perfect. So now we've got our background already. Now let's work on our ice for which our polar bear is standing on. So I'm going to start with this color right here. That is the 5th color in the 2nd row. So it's kind of this like whitish color. And we're going to draw this oval like this. Tap and hold with one finger. Oops. And then we can go to edit up there. And where you can just kind of move this around. I want to make sure our ice is not too big, because then it'll get too long when we draw like the bottom part of it. So we can just make it like this. And then once we're done over here, we can go to this arrow, go to uniform. And then we can come over here. I think this is a good size, like this. We can make it a bit bigger, and then if you want to make it a bit longer, what you can do is we can go to the freeform tool, and then we can go to this middle blue dot on the left side, and we can push it like this, just a little bit, like that. I think that's good. And let's put it right in the middle, and then grab this white and just drop it into here. Perfect. Now we're going to start with making the ridges in our ice on the bottom. So what we're going to do is, it's just all about 3D shapes. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a line like this. That's slightly slanted. And we're going to go on the eraser tool. And then we're going to make a line that comes like this. It comes in. And then we're going to make a line that comes slightly out like that. And then in like that. So what we're doing is, it's almost like the ice got cut off from another part. So we can see the bottom part of our ice. So now, for example, we can go in like that. And then out. So in and out, then like a straight line. So we can just kind of play around with the shapes. So another one that goes in. Like that. Another one that goes in but a little bit smaller. And then a one like this. And then let's make the same thing we did on the other side. It's like we cut off some of this part. And then it almost comes like rounded. Perfect. So now we can erase all of this part, all this white that's below this blue line. So let's erase this. Perfect. So now we got our ridges. You can see that here. I just want to come in here and make this. We can just like make some ridges, like the points a bit sharper. Perfect. That looks really good. Now we're gonna make the actual cracks on our iceberg, like the bottom half. And we are going to be using, let's make a layer beneath that. And we're going to use this color right here. This is the 6th color. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 6th color in the 2nd row. And now we're going to do, actually I want to change this color just for now because you can't really see it on this dark blue background. So we're just going to grab this color and we're just going to take this dot right here and just move it a bit lower. So we're making it darker and now we can see it perfectly. Now we're going to make a straight line. We're going to come over here and we're going to make a straight line like this. You can edit that and then move it a bit higher. And then make another one right here. And we are going to connect this. To actually make it a bit shorter, so right here. And then we can grab the eraser and just cut this off. Perfect. I also want to erase this right here because that's going to be where our other ridge is gonna be, and we're gonna close the top right here and then fill it in with this color. Perfect. Now we're gonna move on and make a layer beneath this one. So we're gonna keep making layers for each point we come across. So for example, I'm gonna make a line that comes slightly lower than the other one we just made and find this point right here. And then we're going to come in like this, make a line that comes down, and then connect it, make sure everything is connected, then fill it in. And we're gonna keep doing the same thing. So now do one right here. And now since this line comes into the iceberg, we're gonna change the bottom line shape. So instead of coming out like this, it's gonna go in like that. I don't wanna make it too much in, so like go right about here. Oops. Make sure we connect everything. Perfect. Let's make another one. Make sure you keep making a new layer beneath all of this. Let's go over here. So we're all just it's really relaxing. Just filling this all in. We can make this one really long. Actually, let's go into this point. So now we can go in right here. And then out over here. And then we can just make one big one over here. So we can slightly round this one. So like this. Make sure we connect all that and then fill it in. Perfect. So now we got our bottom half right here, and now I want to not merge all of this yet. So we're gonna add each individual crack, light, and darkness to each of these little squares, you could call them. So we're gonna start on the top on this one right here, and we're gonna do clipping mask. We're gonna come over here, and we're gonna change the color first of all. So let's go like that, and then we can merge that together and then make another clipping mask layer. Then we're gonna grab this light color right here, so second to last color in the second row. Just come over here and make this thin light line, and then the last color in the second row, and come over here and do that. And then I want to erase some of this line. Let's actually first merge that layer together. I want to erase this. Perfect. So now we got this layer. So we have the light because our sun is coming from the edge. So we have light over here and then dark in the middle right here. And I want to grab this color right here. And we're gonna first make a clipping mask layer. And we're gonna make these little cracks in the ice like this, just to add some more detail to it. And now we're gonna be doing the same thing for all of this. So let's first change the color for that. Then make a new layer above it and clipping mask it. So light, then dark, and then we can even add multiple cracks. We can go to the next one now. And now for these middle ones right here, we should just add one since we don't have a lot of space. So we can just do like that. Just go to the next one. So simple. And then we can just grab this color right here, and we can even maybe, let's see if we can add 3. No, I think that's too many. Let's grab the light and then the dark. And then if you're faster than me at this, you can just go ahead and fast forward. We'll totally do that. So when we draw our polar bear. And then now, as we come nearing the other side of our ice, we can start putting the light on the right side. So for example, let's just finish this one. So now when we get over here, we can change our color, and then we can start adding the light over here. So like that. And then our final one, and then let's add the light over here. And then the shadow. And now we're done. Let's just add some cracks here. Perfect, just like that. And our ice is done. We can merge all of these layers together by just pinching them together. And then let's just keep the top of our ice by itself too. Perfect, so now our ice is done. Now let's move on, and I just want to add one more thing to the top of the ice. Let's just add some shadow. So we're gonna make a new layer above this, and then go to multiply, and turn on clipping mask, grab this white color, and then go like this. Just make a circle, tap on eclipse up here, or ellipse I mean. And then let's go to the magic wand and blur this just like that. Perfect. And then now we can merge that together, and then now we have some shadow in the middle of our iceberg. Perfect, so now our ice is done. Let's move on to our polar bear, our main subject of our painting. So now I have these two colors down here, so I want to use this color right here, first color in the third row. So let's draw our polar bear's face. So I'm gonna make a circle. Let's see if we want to, let's make a new layer above everything else. Perfect. So we're gonna make a circle and tap the other finger to get the perfect circle. We're gonna make it about medium size like this, and can let go. Next, we're gonna go to this arrow right here. Make sure you're on a uniform and make it a bit smaller. Let's go for right here. Arrow, take it a bit bigger. Perfect. So now what I want to do is I want to put our circle in the middle of the painting. So you know it's the middle when you see this yellow line right here and this blue. You see these two blue lines like that. And then now I want to go to this wrench right here. Go to canvas, turn on drawing guide, say edit drawing guide, and go to symmetry. Say done. And then now we have symmetry. And if you go here, it says assisted, which means let's fill this in. So now we have assisted drawing, so it's symmetrical. So now let's make a layer beneath this head. I also want to turn drawing assist here. And we're going to make these little ears like this. And it's symmetrical, as you can see. And make a clipping mask layer for these ears. Grab the second color in the third row and just make sure drawing assist is turned on here. And we're going to make the inside, the pink inside of our polar bear ears. Perfect. Now let's move back to our head. I want to start drawing the face, so we can just grab pure black and then make these just black circles like this. Make this cute little button nose and then a smile like that. You can draw cute little eyebrows. Perfect, just like that. And then we can, let's actually go ahead and merge the ears and the face together. And then we can make it a bit smaller. Oh, actually, one more thing I want to do, let's put it back in the middle. Turn on drawing assist. I want to go to this magic wand right here, go to liquefy, and then you can see here we have this, it says push on this little button here. You can tap that and you have all these liquefy modes you can choose from. So you have push, twirl right, twirl left, pinch, expand, crystals, edge, and reconstruct, and they all do different things. And for now we're going to just focus on push, so you can just keep that. And we're going to put the size up to 35%, distortion is at none, momentum is at none, and pressure is at 37%. And we're just going to come over here on the cheeks, and we're just going to make them a bit bigger, like this. So let's make the size a bit lower. We can just make the cheeks, and we can push in this top of the head a bit. Perfect, just like that, just to make our polar bear a little bit chubby. Perfect, that's great. And then we can push it a bit to the left so we have some space for the body. Perfect, now let's make a layer beneath this head and grab the same first color in the third row, and we're going to start the body. So we're still going to use the same color. And I just want to start over here on our polar bear's back. We're just going to make it sitting down so it has the two paws in the front and then the back leg. And you can't see the other back leg because it's on the other side. So we're going to make a shape like this. Let's actually see, right? Like this. That's good. And we make this, I don't know what this is called. I think because when it's sitting, it has like this bone right here. So we're just gonna make that kind of shape. Then we're gonna come over here and make the chest part. So we're gonna stop right about there. Then make the legs, first paw. So let's make the bottom of the paw slightly flat so it looks like it's sitting. And then let's imagine this line is continuing through the leg, just like that. And then add another foot over here. Perfect. So now we have our outline for our body. So now we're just going to come in here and fill this in. Oops. We can merge that with the head and fill that in. Actually, no, let's actually not merge that. That was my mistake, I'm sorry. We can keep this here, and then I want to connect this line and that line so it closes. So we can just drop that in, say continue filling, put that, we can check that, and then just add a little tail over here too. Perfect, so now we have our body, and it looks a little bit unclear because you can't see each individual foot, it just all kind of looks like a blob. So we're going to fix that. Perfect. So now what we're going to do, let me first make this a bit more rounded. Perfect. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to make a layer above this body like this. We're going to go to this little end right here, that's the layer blending mode, and we're going to go back to multiply. We're going to say clipping mask, so it goes only our body. We're going to tap and hold with our finger to get this color. And then we're going to make our brush a bit bigger, 4%. And we're just going to make this yellowish color beneath the head, over here. So we're just going to follow the line that we remember, so we make a clear outline for all of our polar bear's feet. So for example, this is where one of the feet are. Also over here. We have something over here. So this is like a cute little style we can make. So we can go like this. And then let's also put some over here. And then we can go to the Gaussian blur and we can blur it just like that. Perfect. And now you can see we have a clear outline for where our feet are. So now I want to add some light. So we're going to go back to our flat color for our body, make another layer above that, so it's already automatically clipping mask. Then we're going to go to the layer blending mode, and now instead of going to multiply, we're going to scroll down and go to add, which is the exact opposite of multiply because it adds light. So we're going to grab this color, and always when you want to do add, you don't want to put a lot because it's very strong. So we're just going to put a little bit on the front of each foot, like that. And then we're going to go to Gaussian blur because you can see it's very strong. We're just going to go like that. Perfect, just like that. And then we can go ahead and go into our shadow layer, and I want to blur it just a little bit more. Not that much. go for 3%. And then we can merge all of this together. Perfect, so now our body is done. Now I want to work on the head. So let's do the same thing we did. We're going to first do multiply, then turn on clipping mask. And we're going to go on the right side of our polar bear. For the shadow, we're going to, oops, not gradient map. We're going to go to Gaussian blur. Perfect. And then let's do add to. Perfect, just like this. You can add it over here too. Perfect, so now I think our polar bear is done. So we can merge all of our layers together just like that. And then now let's turn off the symmetry line by going to the wrench, going to canvas and just tapping this right here. And we're gonna go to the arrow and we're just gonna place our polar bear so it looks like the shadow is right underneath him. So just like that, perfect. Perfect, so now our polar bear is looking very cute on this ice. So now I think the only thing we need to add is just some little more details on the ocean. So let's work on that now. So first of all, I want to we can merge the ice, top of our ice layer with the bottom. So let's move that a bit lower and bring our polar bear with it, like that. Perfect. And then now I want to, let's actually move it a bit lower. I think like around more on the middle of the painting. Okay, perfect. So now I want to add some shadow beneath our iceberg, just a little shadow. So first, let's go to our ocean layer right here. We're going to tap the plus, we're going to go to the layer blending mode, go to multiply, say clipping mask, tab and hold to get this blue. We're going to make our brush super big, like 45%, and come over here and then make this bottom part right here a dark blue. Then we're going to come over here and make a layer like this. It's already clipping mask. We're going to go to add. We're going to come on the top here and make this light. And we're going to blur this using Gaussian blur. We're going to blur our shadow. So now we have an ocean gradient. Perfect. Okay, now what I want to do is I'm going to duplicate this iceberg like this. We're going to put this new one underneath our old one, our original one. And then I'm going to turn on alpha lock. And then we're going to grab this, let's just grab this dark color. Let's go for maybe like this. And then we're going to say fill layer, like that. So now our whole iceberg is colored in this color that we selected. And we can turn off alpha lock. And then we're going to say flip vertical and then push it down over here. So not all the way because I don't want it to be a big shadow, just like that. And then we're going to go to our magic wand and Gaussian blur this just slightly. Like we can actually blur it even more. This is looking pretty good. So it's just kind of like a vague shadow underneath. I think this is good. I think it was around like 40%. And then now what I want to do is add some ripples in the water. So we're going to make a layer above everything else. We're going to go back to this wrench, turn on drawing guide, say edit drawing guide. And instead of going to symmetry, we're going to go to 2D grid. And this is perfect for making super straight lines. So we're going to say done. And then we're going to go to our layers. We're going to tap on this layer and say drawing assist. And then we're going to grab this color right here, fourth color in the third row. We're going to make our ripples in the water. We're going to make it a bit smaller and a bit thinner, our brush. Just draw these little ripples in the water. So we're not going to go beneath the iceberg just yet. Okay, because now what we're going to do is we're going to turn off drawing assist to make a new layer. And we're going to make some round ripples. So because it's almost like where our iceberg is, the water is a bit more choppier. And it just shows that there's like an actual figure on this water. So like this. Perfect. Just like that. And then we can go back to this layer, turn drawing assist back on, and continue making the ripples. Just like that. And then let's turn off this grid because it can get kind of annoying, but you don't need it. It's still drawing assist. And then we can just add more of these ripples. Some small. I think this is good for now. And then we can merge these two together, the straight and the curved. And then now I want to add some rocks, just like maybe a couple. We made a new layer. Yeah, we made a new layer. I just want to make this kind of rocky shape. Just make it imperfect. That's what makes it really good and natural. You can fill it in, tilt it a bit. We're going to duplicate it and put this new one underneath that one. We're going to lower the opacity. We're going to go to this arrow, and then we're going to say flip vertical and do the same thing we did for the iceberg. So we have a shadow. This is perfect for making shadows. I love this tool so much. So we can then blur it a bit, 4%, and then do another one over here. But we can make this one a bit smaller maybe. So let's fill that in. Let's duplicate that, put it underneath, lower the opacity, flip vertical, and push it underneath here. That looks so good. Let's blur that, 5%, and perfect. Those rocks, they add a lot for sure. And now our main painting is done, but we still have two things to add, some snow and our sun. So we're gonna merge all those rock layers together. And then I wanna we can grab like a yellowish color, like this. And then I just want to make this over here a circle, like right about on the right side of the sky. So right about here. You can fill it in. And then we're going to go to the magic wand and we're going to go to bloom. I have transition at max, size at 30, and then burn at 35, but we can just play around with it and see how it looks. Perfect. So we can slide our Apple Pencil to the right and we get that nice glowing effect. And now we can play with transition. So if we put it a bit lower, it'll make it brighter because that means the transition is going more towards the center and it's not spreading the light more. So I'm going to keep it at max. Size means it gets dimmer. So let's keep it around 39%. And burn makes it stronger. So let's go, I don't want it too big. Let's go for 35, our original. Perfect. And I also want to make a glow around our sun. So we're going to duplicate this sun layer, push it underneath. And then we're going to go back to the bloom tool and then bloom this one. So we have some light around our sun. We can play with the size. I want to put it a bit lower. Let's go or actually I want to put it a bit higher. So let's maybe go for 60. And for burn, we can make it brighter or more dim. So let's go for 31%. Perfect. So now that sun looks great. We can merge those two together. And now for our final touch, we can just grab pure white, make our brush a bit smaller, like 2%, and I just want to add some nice snow. So we're just gonna go like this all over the sky. Make sure we don't accidentally put some like right on the eye of our polar bear because then it looks like it has some light right there. So we can just delete that and then just put some just all over, just to add a nice magical touch. Perfect. You can add as much as you want. Perfect. And our polar bear is done. So now we can choose to merge all the layers if you want, but I'm just going to keep it like this so I can come back later and decide if I want to change anything. Thanks so much for drawing with me today. And I know that your polar bear turned out adorable and your Arctic scene feels magical. Remember, if you want to support the channel, check out our t-shirt shop, link in the description below. And make sure to sign up for our free weekly newsletter to get extra Procreate tips, behind the scenes fun, and exclusive videos just for subscribers. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a new tutorial. See you next time on Art with Sienna and Olivia. Bye!